seconds. Guess I'm still waiting for something to hit. I whispered questions to midnight winds. Not sure if someone's listening, but lying here silent, your hand on my skin feels like it's an answer or close enough to it.
Hi folks, I've just parked up at Dollar Glen where the parking is free, and today I'm going to walk up to Castle Campbell. It's 810 metres up to the castle. Looks quite a kind of steep walk up from the glen. So the castle is open from April until September. It's only open in the summer, and it's open from 10 o'clock till 16:30, and the last entry is 1600. So let's start the walk to the castle. So the car park is just opposite the starting off place, and this is the starting point here, Dollar Glen. So just going to join the trail now. So the original name of the castle, it was called Castle Gloom, from the Gaelic glom meaning chasm. The name was officially changed by an Act of Parliament in 1489 at the request of the first Earl of Argyll. So just heading down a set of steps here now. So from the car park it's a very downward trajectory right down to the bottom of the glen. You can hear the river now, getting close to the bottom of the glen. Just came to a fork in the road here. So it looks like you can go down another route which will take you into the town. But I'm just going to cross the bridge here. Lovely bit for a picnic stop this would be. Right next to the river. Very tranquil. So you can see where I am, the red dot in the map, and where I'm going to be heading up to. And you can see there's also a path up there just past the castle to Glen and Devon, which could be quite interesting if you want a further walk. There's also King's Seat, Bank Hill. So the Campbell Castle has royal connections. Mary Queen of Scots stayed at the castle in 1563. The castle was a stronghold for the powerful Campbell clan until it was sacked and burned in 1654 by Cromwell's forces. So I've just stopped for a little seat here. It's a fair old climb. It's quite steep going up the glen. I think I'm at the top of it now, so hopefully almost there. Just get my breath back. So this is quite unusual, sort of mushroom shaped, been carved out the wood, and people have been putting money into different slots on this, as you can see, and some old looking coins in that. Wonder what the oldest one is. So finally get to see my first glimpse of Castle Campbell in the distance. So the path breaks off again, and to the left you've got this route here. It takes you to, looks like this hill here, and down the bottom you can see the valley down the bottom of Dollar. So I'm heading back into the glen again before it swings round and up to the castle. So not far to go now. Just passing this cool little waterfall here. A little pool at the bottom of it as well. Could just jump in there just now, cool my jets. So just down at the Dollar Burn and about to cross it again, there's a little bridge here which I'm just about to cross. Lovely scenic walk this. So I finally made it to the top of Castle Campbell, just about to enter the grounds. If you're looking to come to Castle Campbell, it's £8.50 for an adult, £6.80 for a concession, and £5 for a child. So this is the entrance to Castle Campbell. Let's see what Castle Campbell's like. Just standing at the bottom, the courtyard area of Castle Campbell, and I'm just going to take a look inside. So I've started my tour right at the bottom. This would have been the cellar where they kept the wine. Heading up the stone staircase now, you can see how narrow and steep these steps are. This was pure defence. If you were an intruder trying to swing a sword while climbing these, you'd have no chance. Every stone you see has been worn down by 500 years of boots, from medieval guards to Scottish royalty. And here we are. This is the Great Hall. This was the 15th century version of a VIP lounge. Back in the 1500s, this room would have been filled with tapestries, roaring fires, and the most powerful people in Scotland. It's hard to believe, but Mary Queen of Scots actually stood in this exact room back in 1563. Just look at the thickness of these walls. These window recesses, nearly 7 feet of solid rock. From up here, you can see all the way down to the glen towards Dollar. It's easy to see why they called this the Castle of Gloom. Before the Campbells took it over, it's beautiful, but it's intimidating. Castle Campbell had a prison where commoners were shackled and lowered through the trapdoor to languish in the dark pit of the prison. Let me show you where this prison is. Check this out. Right here in the floor is a hidden hatch leading to a pit prison. It's a literal bottled dungeon. While the Earl was feasting up here, prisoners were sitting in total darkness directly beneath his feet. Talk about a chilling dinner party vibe. So we're moving up a level and the vibe has totally changed. This is the Lord's Hall. While the hall below was for public business and big parties, this is where the Earl of Argyll and his royal guests like Mary Queen of Scots would actually hang out to get some peace and quiet. It would have been much warmer, lined with wood panels and filled with luxury furniture. The inlet you see in the fireplace here would have been where they kept their salt and their spices. But let's talk about the one thing everyone asks about, the bathroom. Just off this room is a tiny chamber that contains the garderobe, the medieval toilet. Now it doesn't look like much today, but in the 1500s, having an indoor latrine built directly into the stone wall was the height of sophistication. If Mary Queen of Scots needed a comfort break while she was here in 1563, this is exactly where she would have gone. This is on the very upper floor and the bedroom where Colin Campbell, the first Earl of Argyll, would have slept. And on the ceiling here, you've got two mouldings. These mouldings would have held chains with oil lamps on them for light. I finally made it to the top. Standing here on the battlements of the tower house, you realise just how invincible this place must have felt. This tower dates back to the 1400s and is remarkably well preserved. Look at these stone parapets. This is where sentries would have paced back and forth 24 hours a day, keeping a lookout for any rival clans moving through the valley below. From up here, you can see why this originally called Castle Gloom. We are perched on a narrow ridge, flanked by two massive ravines, the Burn of Sorrow and the Burn of Care. It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? The Campbells actually had to get an Act of Parliament in 1489 to officially change the name to Castle Campbell, because Gloom was just a bit too depressing for their new status. Behind me, the Ochil Hills. These green peaks look peaceful now, but they were a massive tactical advantage. The hills provided a natural barrier to the north, while the view in front of us stretches all the way across the Forth Valley. On a clear day like today, you can see right across to the Stirling area and beyond. You're looking at the gateway between the Scottish Lowlands and the Scottish Highlands. In 1654, Oliver Cromwell's forces actually attacked and burnt this castle, ending its life as a grand resistance. You can see why it was worth fighting for though. The bare walls and the open roof betray little of the grandeur of the Earl's Hall, yet this room was the social hub of the Campbells' lowland estates, frequented by monarchs, nobles and churchmen. During banquets, the Earl's family and his most honoured guests ate at the high table to your right. Strict rules of etiquette determined who sat where, with rank even dictating what each person got to eat. On special occasions, the menu might include swan, served with a sauce made from spiced guts and blood. So just heading through to the garden area. This is a little corridor you would go down to get to the gardens. And lovely bit to sit here. The benches laid out along the front of the castle. Great bit to come and sit and have your sandwich. More picnic tables down the bottom there. That's a lovely bit of the garden here. What a lovely area. And another bench up the top there. So the good thing is, if you come to visit Castle Campbell, there's not many tourists that come up here. So it's nice and quiet. I've been to quite a lot of other castles where it feels a bit crowded and it can take the enjoyment factor away. But Castle Campbell is such a pleasure to walk around, and the views are just spectacular up here. I really recommend it. I'm going to walk down to Dollar now because I've never really visited that village. So I'm going to head around and see if I can find some gems around the village. Just came down to the riverside in Dollar and about to explore the village. See what like it is. Never been to Dollar before. I've drove past it but never actually explored the village. So this is my first time. So I'll take you on this little journey down here. What was quite noticeable when I was up in Castle Campbell was the church. It really is a landmark in Dollar. The church is called the East Hillfoots Church. So that looks like it's once been a church and it's now done into a home. It looks lovely. We've got the hills in the background. So this is Dollar Memorial Garden. Beautiful garden, lovely flowers. Nice area to come down and have a seat. So one of the shops in the main street, this one it's a wine merchant's grocery. The speciality is cheese and olives, artisan bread and coffee to take away. Cafe number 44. This is where a lot of the locals go for their coffee and more casual village green feel. This is where you'll see a lot of the local community in action. It's very popular with parents dropping off their kids after school, before school, and it's very popular with hikers that are going up the Glen. So I've just popped into cafe number 44 and I've ordered myself a latte and a brownie. So the cafe looks very nice, very clean. So going to tuck into that. Just up from Cafe 44 you've got the Deal's Cradle, which do spirits, cocktails, beers, wines and pizza. And just next door to that you've got the Aviary, which is closed on a Tuesday. The Deal's Cradle, that opens at 5. It's 4 o'clock here just now. But if you're looking for something a bit more substantial to eat, You've got the inn at Dollar across the road, which do pub meals. So Dollar, best small town gold award winner. The streets are very clean, that's one thing you do notice when you're walking down the street. Very tidy. And the clock's at the right time. You can't miss this massive building. It's Dollar Academy. Founded back in 1818, it was actually funded by a massive fortune left by John McNabb, a local boy who went to sea and became a wealthy merchant. The main building was designed by William Playfair, the same architect who shaped Edinburgh's skyline. It's famous for being one of the oldest co-educational day and boarding schools in the world. It survived a devastating fire in 1961. Well, what a lovely day I've had in Dollar today. Really enjoyed myself. Good trail up to Castle Campbell. There is a lot of different trails though that break off the main trail up to the castle, and it takes you into the Ochil Hills. So you could have a lovely day here just exploring Dollar, exploring the Ochil Hills, and a little visit to the castle itself. And the village is a nice frequent village to walk around as well. So if you've enjoyed my video today, if you could give me a thumbs up, if you could subscribe, and if possible, if you could hype, that really helps grow my channel. Well folks, until the next one, bye for now, thank you.